Hey, it's Brooke and Jeffrey in the morning.
You can scroll it later, or better, you can listen live to Brooke and Jeffrey every weekday morning. Big fun, real moments, the laughs that make your day. Your station, your city, right now. That's called radio. In Seattle, that's called Moving 92.5.
Don't ask me to talk.
And welcome to another exciting edition of Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your podcast pals. I'm Eric Ryder.
Hey, I'm the other one. I'm Stacey Heller. And as Eric said, welcome. We're happy to have you back, whether you're listening live on the radio or whether you're listening to the podcast edition. It's so nice to have somebody listening to us out there in the world somewhere.
And we should probably give the disclaimer that we're not actually live on the radio when people are listening.
Well, yeah, that's true.
we record in advance, just because like you out there, we've got busy schedules. So
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Now, Eric, you recently did a little check at some of our analytics and, oh, geez, I just dropped something. Sorry, folks. I mean, I'll tell you what. It's live at one point.
Right.
It's not live when you're listening, but it's live when we're doing it. And I just dropped a giant pad.
Yes. Okay.
Don't worry about it. Anyway.
It did not land on a cat.
No, but it landed on my toe. And I'll tell you what, the fact that I didn't let a curse word rip.
Remarkable restraint.
Anyway, you recently did a little look-see at some of our analytics, and we have people that listen to us from like all corners of the world.
We do. Yeah. Across the universe.
So, hey, shout out to all of you that have found us and that are dedicated listeners from around the world. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't even mean just like Canada, by the way.
Right. We do have some Canadian listeners. So, I was going to say like a Canadian catchphrase, like you would say, top of the morning for our Irish listeners, although I don't think any of them have ever actually said that. But that's the stereotype. I'm trying to think of what the Canadian have a good day, eh? Yeah, it's just A, but you could add that to anything.
Well,
like,
don't you know that that's why Canada is spelled Canada?
Oh, Canada.
What can I say? Anyway, so hey, Eric, how the heller are you?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I had my follow-up at the orthodontist this last week, and I got my stitches out, and they said everything looked good. So it's nice to not have pokey threads in the side of my mouth, and it's good to be able to have the full complement of food available to me that I can eat without worrying about them.
Only.
Yes, exactly. There's still going to be plenty of soft carbs, but
that's by choice.
That's by choice. It's not by regulation. So that's nice. So yeah, I'm feeling a little more normal, which is good. Mostly, I think I'm over my cold, but one of my eyes like swelled up for some reason during the week, and I'm like, just what the hell, January? Can I just get a day where I feel normal?
Wow.
I mean, yeah, normal-ish.
Yeah. Now, was it your eyeball or your third eye that was blowing up?
Well, not technically my eyeball or my third eye, but just the skin around the eyelid, I guess, was swollen up. Looked like I've been like punched. So.
Gertie, the girlfriend?
No. I mean, unless they're doing it in my sleep. It's entirely possible.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I think I just maybe had like allergic reaction to something. I don't know. But yeah, that seems to have God. But so there was a day or two where I was wearing like sunglasses at work, I was doing the Emmanuel Macron thing, like where he
Uh-huh.
spoke at Davos with like sunglasses on. And they're like, everybody's like, damn, why do you look so cool? And he's like, well, my retina has detached. And it's like, oh, okay. Well,
Right. That's
way,
like
way to have a really uncool reason to look cool.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
it works. It's like Bono, like getting crap for all these years about wearing glasses, like inside outside, and it turns out he has like glaucoma or some
Right.
eye thing.
Yes.
And everyone was like, "Oh, we just thought you were like kind of a
Pretentious.
rock star."
Yes. Yeah. It's one of those things. It's like the cure for, except for like clear glasses, for some reason, the cure for any like eye problems makes you look way cooler. I don't know what the deal is with that, but like an eye patch, you rock an eye patch because you got a lazy eye. Suddenly you look like a badass, but you take that off, you look like a real goober. Same thing with this. You put on some sunglasses because you're dealing with glaucoma or whatever, and suddenly you're like Miss Joe Cool, but take those off, and people are like, but
Uh-huh. Well, that's like the Biden effect with aviators.
Right.
Like people were like, whatever you thought about Biden, it was like, universally, I think it was agreed that he's an older guy.
Sure.
But suddenly he put on his sunglasses and everyone was like, okay, Joe.
That's right. Top Gun.
Joe Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just weird. But like regular glasses that help you see, suddenly you're Poindexter.
Right.
Mr.
Four eyes.
Yes. A nerd.
Yeah. Interesting. I wonder what other things, this could be a good topic for the Wheel of Topic. Like what things that, are, what things make you seem cooler that
honestly, I think it's just the eye
thing.
thing. Yeah, exactly. Like, because if you break your leg and you have to wear a cast, nobody's like, oh, wow, so cool. I
don't know.
Love that cast on you. That's really rocking.
I went through a period where I thought, when I was younger, I thought braces were really cool. And I would like undo paper clips and I'd be like, look, I have braces. I don't know.
Yeah, you may be the only one in that.
No, I had a friend that was playing with me.
Oh, okay.
But I also thought being pregnant was really cool. 4 kids later, I'm like, wow. Spoiler alert, not. Man. Like,
yeah, nobody's like, when you like are wandering in on crutches, nobody's like, damn, wish I could do that.
No. Although, driving around in one of those jazzy things, don't hate that.
You don't necessarily look cool, but it does seem fun.
Yeah.
Maybe bandages. That's like the only other thing, maybe. Like if you've got your head wrapped like a mummy, like it's like kind of like, ooh, mysterious.
I think you mean Mysterioso.
Right. Like, is he the invisible man under there?
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's like, that's kind of cool. He could be, or maybe like a scar, but that's not like something you would get to, heal. That's like the result of your wound, I guess. So I don't know, but yeah, something about sunglasses and eye patches.
And our daughter Annie thinks that like a monocle is like the coolest thing ever. She's like, who doesn't want a monocle? Keep it on a chain. When you need to see something, you just like put it up and you're like, okay, I can see now. And then you can just drop it back down.
Sure. If you're, say you wander over to Community Chest or free parking or one of the many railroads.
It's true. It's true.
You'll need that monocle to collect your rent.
You can use it as a tool to get out of jail free.
There you go. Yes. So yeah. So aside from that, it's been a pretty mellow week. Not a lot to report. How about yourself? I know you've been crazy, hectic, busy with your big move.
Well, here's the thing. We've been in this house, I think it's 19 years in April. So, by the time the house goes on the market, like we'll have will be short a couple months, but we have maintained it mostly. And so the pre-inspection was done. And, you're sort of like the whole time biting your nails down to the quick, because God forbid you find out that there is some massive issue with your house.
Right.
And so, the inspector takes 3 hours to go through the house, and he's opening every drawer and like turning on the oven and running the water and just like all these things. So I'm happy to report that our report came back actually pretty decent,
That's
except
good.
for the little bit of a roof leak that they found. And it's definitely not like a full repair thing. So that's good. But it's like,
But that's
ownership,
important, though. Yeah.
it's really important because obviously mold. And so even though there's only a little bit of darkness, they're like, you want to bring in a mold remediation place or person and take care of it. Like you want to do right by future owners, right? And so obviously we will. But it's just one of those things that like home ownership is like if you give a mouse a cookie. Like it's like, well, you're going to find out that this happened, and then you're going to have to uncover this. Don't you know that book?
I've never heard of this. Again, not having children, a lot of these things are cultural blind spots for me, which, by the way, coming up, we'll be talking about our cultural blind spots. And in this case,
and I have one.
I didn't read any children's books, but it does remind me I do have some of your children's books that I need to get back to you.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Did you read them?
No. But they're sitting on my desk, and I want to get them back to you before you move, in case you want them.
Eric!
I'm like I said in the beginning of this show, I have a busy lifestyle, just like you.
If it were not illegal for me to just sit and read you children's books for an entire episode of this show.
That's not illegal.
Wait, I could do that?
You could do it. I don't know that anybody wants to listen to it.
Okay. Listeners, if you have never, ever written in or called in before, now is the time, because I think that would be such a good episode. I could read you If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. It's a children's book about like the domino effect, essentially, that happens if you give a mouse a cookie.
So kind of like that song about the lady that swallows a fly.
Yes.
That's the ultimate domino effect song, I think.
Yes.
Why,
and
oh,
that's
why
exactly
did you swallow that fly?
Well,
I guess
perhaps she'll die, by the way.
Pretty grim for a children's song.
Yeah, but I mean, like every Disney mom has died.
Sure.
Like every Grimm's fairy tale, they're like motherless and they're being chased by wild animals and stepmothers. Like childhood is fraught with issues.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Of course. Yes. So another cultural blind spot that we'll have to somehow take care of. But yeah, it's just a domino effect of what happens when, suddenly this needs to be taken care of. And then, oh, by the way, like you take down the bathroom fixture and you're like, oh, well, now there's the area that needs to be patched underneath it. Right. And, like, oh, well, let's take this off. Oh, well, I noticed that this is loose. So I am very eager. And the movers come on Monday, which is 3 days from when we're recording this. And so ready or not, here they come.
So, okay, but so the mouse gets the cookie. What happens after that? You kind of left it on a cliffhanger. I mean, how is that relevant to anything?
Because it's the domino effect. So like in the story, the mouse gets the cookie, then he wants milk, then he makes a mess. So he's like, I need a paper towel, which feels soft. And then he's like, I should take a nap. And like, it's a whole thing, right?
Okay.
So
I get it.
Home ownership is similar and moving is similar.
Right.
Where, I went into the front hall closet to look for to go through the coats, and then remembered that I had a whole bunch of memorabilia, which then I was like, look at all these bags. And so took the bags out. That led to the pictures, which reminded me of the memorabilia that I have on the shelves in the ceiling of the garage, which was like,
what kind of memorabilia?
A lot of ephemera, like family photos that have been passed down to me. I have the letters that my dad wrote to my grandmother from camp in the summer.
So family memorabilia then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I found a letter, and my dad, who is now deceased, I don't think he'll roll over in his grave about this. I found a letter that is back from he was born in 1938. So he's like, this is probably 58 or 60, where they're basically like, your son's kind of a dum-dum.
Wow. I never got that, thankfully.
And
doesn't apply himself. Could do better.
Yeah, it was. You know what it was? It was early. It was early ADHD diagnosis. Like now, reading the letter, because I was like, "Oh, Dad," reading the letter now that the doctors had written to his parents to talk about his academic struggles and what he was, having issues with. I was like, oh, my dude, you had ADHD. Because ultimately they're like, he is very, very highly intelligent. However, he can't read to save his life. He can't focus. His executive function is horrible in the toilet. I'm like, ugh. So those letters about how he had to go to a private school that had 4 people in his graduating class, it helped him because he could be more focused. But it just shows you the more you know.
The more you know. Yeah.
The more you know. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And, I found all kinds of pictures and letters and things like that, which is great. But I don't recall signing up to be the family caretaker.
So your siblings don't have any of this stuff?
No, I have 2 brothers, and they're like, whatever.
Right.
So I'm trying to get it down to 5 boxes, 1 for each kid that I can just either ship to them or store for them temporarily, and 1 that is multiple generations of family stuff. So we'll see. I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you seem to be making progress, so that's good.
I am.
Yeah.
I definitely am.
I think I'm going to end up dying in my house because I'm never moving. It's such a hassle moving in that, and moving out of the last place that it's just I can't, unless I win some huge lottery prize where I can pay people to do everything, then maybe I do it. But I think my days of packing up boxes and stuff like that is just not worth it.
Honestly, that's a huge perk because the job that Pete got, he got a relocation package. And so the fact that they are coming to pack the house, they will move everything, they will store everything. And he actually got an email from them saying that a separate specialized white glove service is coming to pack up. We have a wall clock and they're coming to take care of that and some other items. And I was like, what?
Damn, you fancy.
Right? I know. Of all the places for me to be fancy, this is it.
Who knew?
I'm a little disappointed that my fancy is in the moving piece.
Well, at least it's something.
That's true. That is true.
Well, you know what? I think it's about that time where we take a break in the show. But we should come right back and we should talk about our cultural blind spots for this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I have one.
Sweet. Me too. Everybody stay tuned. We'll come right back with more. Don't Ask Me to Talk.
Hey, I'm Stacey Heller. I'm one of your podcast pals, along with Eric Ryder from Don't Ask Me to Talk. Are you liking what you're listening to? Awesome. We would love if you would follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram as Don't Ask Me to Talk. We also are wherever you find your favorite podcast. You can follow us, subscribe, like, rate, whatever it is that you do. You can also email us. That's asking@don'taskmetotalk.com. And if you'd like, text or leave us a voicemail at 475-999-2726. Basically, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.
And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your podcast pals. I'm Eric Ryder.
Hey, I'm the other one. I'm Stacey Heller. And I am so excited this week because I feel like you always have a cultural blind spot. You're pretty good at consuming like music and movies and that kind of thing on a pretty regular basis.
Well, I haven't been in the middle of a move. So that has given me a few extra hours, and also recovering from a surgery will do that to you too, where they're like, no exercise, eat a bunch of mashed potatoes. And so it's like, oh, what am I going to do with the weekend? I guess I'll watch movies while I stuff my face with carbs, so to be fair.
I am a mashed couch potato.
Exactly. Yes.
Sounds divine, honestly.
So it's been good for this segment, but I'm glad you found a couple hours to do this as well.
I did, and I really only needed less than 30 minutes. I watched, for the first time ever in my 55 years, an full episode of The Twilight Zone, the old TV show.
What? You've never seen The Twilight Zone before?
Nope.
Wow. Well, I mean,
Yep.
that's the definition of this, segment here, because that is a big one. I mean, I feel like The Twilight Zone is one of those huge cultural things. I mean, and it's been, there's been 3 series of it because people like start craving it again after, 10 years or so go by. Yeah.
And the fact that the show itself, like, it's a phrase that's like, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know the Twilight Zone.
Popular songs and books, that reference it. Yeah.
And so many things. And I've certainly seen like a snippet here or there, or like the introduction of it, or, those kinds of things. But I watched the season 1, episode 1. Where is everybody?
Okay, yeah, I saw. I a couple years back, I went and watched from start to finish every Twilight Zone. Just kind of binged it, and there's some amazing stuff in there. There's also some stuff that's a lot of it was made in the 50s and 60s, so it can't help but be dated a little bit. But it's amazing to me, like how transcendent through time this stuff is still is. I mean, the stories still hold up. A lot of the acting still holds up. Even some of the special effects still hold up. And considering this was made for a TV budget, back in the 50s and 60s, that's pretty amazing. And Rod Serling.
Oh, I mean, and the voice, and like I
He's
said,
an icon.
that introduction, and then at the end when they're like, and next week we're gonna have somebody like who's the toy maker and who's like up against the devil, and I'm like, what? Like, what is this? This is horrible. And just the psychological nature, it had sort of a Hitchcock vibe, like, and the sounds, like it was so quiet with the guy walking through the town and making himself some breakfast and having an ice cream sundae and talking to himself, and how like
it's kind of a Last Man on Earth kind of vibe there, if I remember right. Yeah.
And literally he goes into a store, and on the pocketbook, which is what they called it, then rack with all the mass media type sized books, it's like Last Man on Earth vibes. And he just suddenly is like, he's like, wait, I remember who I am now. I'm in the Air Force. And, that disconnection. Like what an awareness even back then,
Right.
that like the thing that could make you go crazy is the lack of connection with other people.
Yeah. And those twist endings, I mean, that's such like, there's so many things that have come after the Twilight Zone, influenced by that. So good on you. So what did you think of the episode?
It was great. It makes me want to watch some more.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I love when people are smart, and whether it's smart humor and, you see responses that people have to things. And I'm like, oh, that's so good. Why aren't I that smart? Or smart storytelling or smart twists like that. I just think that that's such an amazing thing. And it was really smartly done. And so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed like making a connection to the whole, like, travel through space and time, and there's the fifth dimension, and, timeless as infinity and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, that's where that's from. And
it is interesting that first season, they didn't have the iconic theme song that they got on the later, the do 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 theme song. It was like way different for the intro. And so, yeah, but the show evolved. But yeah, that's great, because I think while that is a good episode and a good way to kick off the series, there's way stronger episodes to come. So if that piqued your interest, then you should definitely watch more of it, because there are definitely some more really great episodes that will blow your mind.
Well, and one of the other things that I'll say about it is like the lack of sound. Like it's the guy talking to himself, but like walking through town and like talking to the mannequin in the car. And then the church bell would go off and you'd hear like a whistle of the tea kettle. And so really punctuated with minimal sound, and how the lack of sound was a frightening thing, and what a psychological impact it can have. And it makes me think of those times, like, have you ever been driving on the highway and you're like, I'm the only one out here? Like, did something happen and I don't know about it? Should I not be here? Like, I have literally had that thought of like, is something happening and I don't know about it? And it's amazing the tricks that your mind will play on you. So yeah, I was so excited to actually check something off that I feel like is a significant cultural blind spot.
Nice. Well, I definitely recommend sticking with it. I mean, the brilliant thing is that it is, less than 30 minutes, like 22 minutes, I think, an episode. So you can bite-sized chunks anytime. It's not like one of these great, top 100 AFI movies that are like 3 hours long. And you're like, well, I don't know when I'm going to fit in Spartacus or Ben-Hur. Sorry. It's just, I don't have 4 hours right now. But yeah, the Twilight Zone, you can just kind of keep going and until you've seen them all. And there is some really great stuff there. And aside from rewatching those, I think if you're a Twilight Zone fan, you may like the series Inside Number 9, which I've talked about on the show before, but I am rewatching right now. And there's 9 series of Inside Number 9, and each one has 6 episodes. So it's not like a huge endeavor, but they're all really brilliant. And they all have twist endings like the Twilight Zone did. And they're all little self-contained worlds like the Twilight Zone. So it's kind of like that, and kind of like Black Mirror. It's an anthology series, but this is a little bit lesser known, but I think it's just as good as pretty much anything else that's out there. So, and again, they're available on Canopy and on BritBox. So yeah, if you want to check them out, I highly recommend Inside Number 9.
Love it. Well, goodness knows I'm going to have time, because once the movers come on Tuesday, then it's just a waiting game, people.
Yes.
Just waiting. So, all right.
But
What
you got
about
plenty
you?
to watch. So yeah, well, first I'll talk about one that's not like a huge thing, I think, on people's radar, but was fun to watch. Was The Parallax View. I watched that. This is a Warren Beatty movie, and it's in the, I think, in the 70s. And it's, well, I don't want
I've
to give
never
too
heard
much
of that.
away. Well, the thing that caught my eye about it is it's got the Space Needle on the poster, and
Oh,
the opening scenes show like the assassination of a sitting senator, and it all happens on the Space Needle, which seems like the dumbest place to do an assassination because how do you get away? And the guy ends up like
right.
jumping off. Spoilers, but this is in the first 10 minutes of the movie, so you know, sorry.
Okay.
But he ends up like, you know, jumping to his death essentially off the top of the Space Needle because he can't really escape from, you know, once you've assassinated somebody in the Space Needle.
Right.
But yeah, it's great, and some of it is set in Washington, and it's just kind of like an edgy thriller. Where there's like a corporation that seems to be training and employing assassins, called the Parallax Corporation. Um,
Oh,
yeah, it's pretty fun. I would have loved to see a little more Seattle and Washington State in it because a lot of it is filmed in LA, but it's still fun with that local connection to it because everybody's been, you know, to the Space Needle and been up there. And it's like,
right.
oh,
Right.
I know that, you know, it's fun.
Sure.
And yeah, while I wasn't a big fan of Shampoo, the other Warren Beatty movie that I watched in the last couple of years, this one was quite a lot of fun. So I'll recommend that one. Uh,
Okay. I feel like what a modern name for a movie.
the Parallax View.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't it sound like, something that's much more current than like typical 70s fare? I don't know.
Yeah, I was intrigued by the title.
Yeah.
That was another thing that intrigued me. But I love checking these films off that are filmed locally because I love seeing like the local scenery and like how things
Hmm.
have changed. Even if the movie's not like fantastic, it's great to see that local scenery and how it's changed over time and stuff.
Sure.
And sadly, that's a lot of like movies that were shot in Tacoma, where I live. It's like, okay, this isn't a great movie, but wow, it's really cool to see old City Hall in a movie.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's
Well,
one.
it's a time capsule.
And then one I think definitely made a bigger cultural impact and was a blockbuster at the time, and people since then seem to have been talking about it quite a bit. And they made a sequel recently, which I guess isn't as good. But I recently watched Gladiator for the
Oh,
first time,
I
and
haven't seen
it's Russell Crowe stars
it.
in
Yep.
it. Um,
And is it Joaquin Phoenix?
Yes, Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, he plays like an emperor of Roman emperor, and he's great in it as well. And this was a fun movie. I say fun; it's very serious. The subject matter, and not historically accurate at all, except for
What?
I mean, with the storyline, because this is they've got like an actual Caesar, and then they draw from history with the setting for it, but the story of what happens is not what happened at all, which is like, well, if you're gonna go for an actual person, why not? You stick with the real story, because chances are that real story is at least as intriguing as
If not more.
yeah, exactly. But nevertheless, it was a fun movie, and I think Russell Crowe was great in it. And of course, there's the scene, "Are you not entertained?" Which I feel like that catchphrase or a clip has gone on to a life of its own. Even if
Oh,
people don't know the movie that it's from,
it's
they
like a
know
meme.
that.
I
Yeah,
mean, And it's the kind of thing that if you're, on your phone and you're looking for like is it GIF or GIF?
I always say GIF.
I say GIF too.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a GIF, and like that's such a classic one to be able to find, like from that movie.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So now you know what it's from. And this is a decent movie. Now I understand that Gladiator 2 is not particularly good, so I haven't watched that. But Gladiator, the original, and it's hard to believe it's like 25 years old now.
It is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. I think that came out.
That's crazy.
Yes. Let's double check on that.
Wow. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah, 2000. So
wow.
25 years. But wow, yeah, it's I don't get a chance to watch well, I say it like it's some big privilege, but these historical dramas sometimes don't, like, especially like, what was that like survey that said like men are thinking about ancient Rome like
Rome
10 minutes an hour every day, or something ridiculous like that. I don't think about ancient Rome at all. And typically,
Pete.
Yeah, these movies don't like usually appeal to me. Like, there's a reason why I haven't gone and watched like Ben-Hur or whatever. It's like I don't really care. But in this case, this was a lot of fun, and maybe I will have to go check out some more sword and sandal movies, because
like Braveheart. Have you seen Braveheart?
Oh yeah, Braveheart's another one where it's completely wrong. Like everything in it is historically inaccurate. It's just a mess. But when I watched it in the theater, it was fun, but it's completely false. Like right down to that guy, William Wallace, was not nicknamed Braveheart. There was a whole other Scottish hero. Like, it's ridiculous how much they got completely wrong with that movie.
Like, okay, so do you think that they got it wrong, or do you think they took creative license?
Well, both. They took creative license, but to do like a mashup of a bunch of other people's stories and then to completely misrepresent what happened, that's wrong in my estimation. Yeah. When you could do a historically accurate story and it would probably be at least as compelling.
That's like, there was a whole genre of books that came out a while ago, like The Girl with the Pearl Earring. And it's like they did fictionalized accounts of moments in history. So like the story of the girl from the
painting.
The Vermeer painting.
Yeah.
And, it's like, oh, this is like the story of the girl. And
I think that's fair enough if we don't know the actual story. To do like a fictional telling, but when you know the actual story, it's like, why?
Fair.
And that, all that is well documented stuff. So yeah, so I'm not a huge Braveheart fan, but
really, I couldn't tell. But you liked Gladiator, so
I did like good. Gladiator, yes, yeah. And
did it compel you enough to watch the second, even though it was not generally reviewed well?
I don't think so.
Like, how do you expand on that story? Like, we're still going.
Well, he's dead. Spoiler.
Right, like
the gladiator, the titular gladiator dies in Gladiator. It's a 25-year-old movie, so I'm sorry, I'm giving away but he is dead. So there's no.
Well, there's a new Gladiator.
It's a whole different Gladiator, but it could have been called anything else because it doesn't have anything to do with the original, as far as I could tell. So if they just gave it to that to capitalize on some IP, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a gladiator too. Right.
I would not be surprised if he said that in the movie. Like the titular gladiator too.
And
The
the like the
titulator.
new version, the titulator. Actually, that would be a good movie.
It would, right?
The titulator.
Look out. The titulator is coming. But I'm a gladiator too. Yeah.
Like, how you like me now? Are you entertained?
Right?
Wink, wink.
Yes. I wonder, do they the most famous part of that movie is that scene. So do they recreate that in Gladiator 2? Aren't you still entertained? Doesn't this continue to be entertaining?
Oh my gosh.
It's a little stinker character as a gladiator.
It's giving like Disney like animal mascot vibes.
Right. Wow. Yeah, no. Well, now that we've talked it through, I kind of do want to watch it just so that I can report
Find
back.
out.
Yes.
Well, it's important. I mean, these are the things that are important.
Right. Which is why we do this.
Yes.
It's not for us.
No.
This is scientific research for the culture. Well,
I watched this week, and I don't think this is a cultural blind spot unless, like, I guess it is sort of if you've never watched it. I watched the final season of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, or it's just called Queer Eye.
And that's still going? Or you said it was the final season, so
there was...
When was the final season?
So it just came out. The episodes just came out. And keep in mind, like back in the earlier 2000s, it was called Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Right.
And then when
it was a kind of a phenomenon for a little while there.
Huge.
Yeah.
And then it went off the air. And so the original Fab Five, as they call themselves, they all went on to have very successful solo careers, if you will, doing their area of interest. And then they rebooted it with a new bunch of people. And this ran for like 5 or 6 years, I think. And, going into different communities and focusing on different folks and whatever. And this final season, they just released, I don't know if it was only 5 episodes for the whole final season or if they're just not out yet. But I basically spent like yesterday trying to put together this freaking stupid Lego set that I've been trying to get together, watching Queer Eye crying like a baby. I was like, what has happened to me? Have I lost my ever living mind?
Well, it is a stressful situation moving. So I feel like your mindset right now may not be what you would typically. It's like when you're in an airplane and you're particularly susceptible to, starting to weep a little watching emotional scenes. It's because your body is heightened and stressed. Yes. So
holy cow. I mean, it was just one of these things where, in between doing all the other things that I'm doing and the errands that I'm running and people coming by and, all this stuff, I'm like watching this freaking show, like, oh, they gave the teachers the whole wish list. Oh my God. They're playing dodgeball in the gym and Jeremiah's hot. Like it was an emotional roller coaster for me.
Okay.
And, it's a thing. Like it did give a whole bunch of phrases between the original show and this one.
Right.
Like the whole French tuck was really big. The talking about zhuzhing an outfit. Like there's definitely some terminology that came out of that show.
That is not really popular anymore because slang always evolves.
It's true.
But
although
it's funny to kind of go back. It's kind of, we think of like groovy as being like a 60s thing, and people say it ironically now. Well, we don't necessarily think of those ones that have kind of disappeared from language from when we were growing up, but I'm sure there's a lot of them.
Oh, for sure, dude. Totally.
Well, like the 80s, I think, is the last time where I think I've clocked like people don't say tubular anymore. Even radical is a stretch because they're just using it in a pejorative way instead of the positive way that it was used in the 80s,
Right.
Using its actual definition. How dare you? But
right, correct.
But yeah, so the idea of 2000s era slang that we don't use anymore is kind of intriguing to me.
It is. It was kind of funny. So that was my other sort of by mistake rubbernecking type cultural blind spot. It was quite a ride, I'll tell you what.
And the whole thing is based on a cultural stereotype of queer people having innate style sense or having good taste. And I wonder if there's queer people out there that are just total slobs and are okay have accepted that, but are just feel like they're being judged all the time because they don't have amazing taste. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, put on a pair of glasses, it solves everything.
Why would you think I would know the best color to paint this room,
Right. Rude.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You're straight doesn't mean I think that you can fix my car.
Is that a burden for people? Because there's stereotypes that are hurtful and negative, but there's also stereotypes that are positive and, or at least in theory positive. But
right.
I just wonder if that's puts added pressure on folks that they don't want,
I don't know. Probably, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's I'm sure.
I also wonder what pasty white guys, what our stereotypes are that I haven't even clocked. That people expect me to know something that I don't,
Right. They're so you're into Star Wars, right?
Right.
Well, and I think about the other stereotype of they thrive on the juxtaposition of the last season was done in Washington, D.C. And it was nary a queer person there. And it's no, by the way, they're everywhere.
Oh,
They've infiltrated the whole world.
Oh, yeah.
And, so, once upon a time, it was this year we're going to be doing it in Alabama. And, what do you think of 5 guys coming in to your life and fixing up your trailer?
Right.
And that's the stereotype too,
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's with connection, we could all just get along. And honestly, trust me, I cried like a baby. I am not saying that it's not true, because I do think that in some ways, the smaller your world gets and the more personal connection you have, actually the bigger the impact that it can have on your personal awareness and education and viewpoint of the world. So make no mistake, not to get all pithy and whatever and philosophical, but it's a very TV friendly version of that idea. And yeah, I cried. And the whole glasses thing worked because one of the heroes, they call them heroes, is a tour guide in Washington. And they put him in all these outfits. And he was like, I'm not so sure. But then they gave him a pair of glasses. And he was like, now, wait a minute. And every outfit that he put
now
on,
that I can see what I'm actually wearing. I'm not just a blurry amorphous lump.
No, these were sunglasses. These were not glasses.
Okay.
But every time he put on the glasses, he was like, I'm not sure about this outfit. And then he'd put on the glasses and he was like, yeah, I'm feeling that. Dog. And I was like, I feel like it's just the glasses. But
entirely possible. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We've got to get to our top topic for this week.
Gosh.
Believe it or not, it's already
Let's do it.
Yes. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and the Wheels selected how to fold a fitted sheet last week, I believe.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes. So stay tuned. We'll find out if either of us know how to fold a fitted sheet.
Perfect.
This is Eric Ryder reminding you to follow us on Facebook. We're at Don't Ask Me to Talk, and we're on Instagram, again, at Don't Ask Me to Talk. We'd love to hear from you, so check us out on social media and leave us a comment. Leave us a like. Remember, you can always email us directly at asking@don'taskmetotalk.com or leave us a voicemail or text at 475-999-2726. That's 475-999-2726. And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your podcast pals. I'm Eric Ryder.
Hey, I'm the other one. I'm Stacey Heller, and I'm pretty excited for this riveting, straight out of the headlines topic.
Yes. Well, anybody that's listened to the show before knows that you're the one that comes up with the topics and puts them on the wheel. Now, the wheel randomly selects them, but I always like to check in with you and find out what your inspo was, your inspiration, for putting this topic on the wheel to begin with. Was there any kind of background to this, or is it as straightforward as it seems?
Well, thank you for asking. And of course there was inspo. So a while back, I had this amazing idea. Now, if I executed half the ideas that I had a while back, I would be a wealthy woman indeed. Because years and years ago, I had this idea that wouldn't it be great if there was a way to put your sheets together in a way that, one, it kept them neat, because not like most people cannot fold a fitted sheet. And it also told you what size sheets they were, and you could neatly put them in your closet. And so I was like, we need bed bands. And think a stretchier version of like a rubber band, or the thing that you put on produce that has the little, like, with your broccoli, and it has the little PLU number on it. Right. And I was like, hear me out. You do these bands, and you just, whether you're wadding up the sheets or you're neatly folding them, you could put them in your linen closet. Each size bed could have its own color that becomes universal. This is a genius idea. Well, somebody took my idea and they ran with it. And this is like in recent years. Like I've done searches in the past and it wasn't out there, and now it is. Right. So, but anyway, it got into a conversation when I was sharing this with somebody about folding a fitted sheet. And they're like, don't you just wad it in the ball and give up? Or conversely, don't you just have one set of sheets that you wash and then like end up having to make a nest the night that you wash them because you didn't have time to make your bed and you're too tired? And like, that's...
I mean, both of these things work.
Yeah. So then the whole idea of folding a fitted sheet, and they were like, you know how to fold a fitted sheet? And I was like, you don't know how to fold a fitted sheet? And so in that moment, that became a very interesting conversation. It probably doesn't translate to this moment.
Well, we only have 5 minutes, so
perfect.
It's all good.
So, Eric, I must ask, do you know how to fold a fitted sheet?
Well, see, I at one point had the idea that I was going to do a life hack video on how to fold a fitted sheet. And then the idea was going to be that you just wad it up into a ball and cram it into the closet. Life hack.
Oh.
Why are you wasting time on this? Life hack. Because ultimately, once you put the sheet on the bed, it's fine. It doesn't have to be, perfectly folded. Who cares? If you can put it in your closet, that out of sight, out of mind. So
people care.
I don't care. That's the point that I was making.
Yes, I see
and
that.
This is a life hack that anybody can do. Don't care. Because why? Well, again, once it's on the bed, wrinkles, who cares? It's going to get wrinkled anyway. It's also covered by a top sheet and a blanket of some sort, comforter, or so just any way you want to fold it up, I think is fine. As long as it fits in your closet, then you've solved the problem. But it's also one of these things where I'm sure, and I know that there is a specific way, like folding the American flag for a funeral, that people that are obsessive about these sort of things like to do it. So if you've got a tip for folks that are like that, what would it be?
I mean, basically, you tuck, like the way that the fitted sheet is, you tuck the two ends into each other, right? So that it's like the elastic part is all tucked in together, and you're essentially getting a rectangle, at which point you can then fold it more easily. And you probably need a counter or a bed or a kitchen table to do this. But just by tucking the one little bit of the folded sheet into the other one and then flatten it out, you can very easily and comfortably fold your fitted sheet then into a nice, neat pile. Or you could wad it up and wrap it into a ball and say, done.
Yeah. That works.
That
fine.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it does.
I typically like fold it into a square, really, rather than wad it up into a ball. With the, the fitted part on the inside. And then, you just kind of roll it and fold it into a square. And I think that's fine. I don't think that hurts anything.
I am sure that Martha Stewart has some particular way of doing it that is.
I'm sure she would never stop
judging.
She would never stop judging me if she visited my house.
and if it gives you solace, every time you think about that, you remember that she did jail time and you have not.
That's right. So who's winning, Martha?
Exactly. So whatever. Yeah, there's just things that I feel like they're overcomplicated in the world. And yet then there's another part of me that's like, we haven't figured out a better way to do this. Interesting.
Yeah.
There's probably some folding mechanism, though. Like probably somebody found a way to simplify and overcomplicate simultaneously.
Yeah, there's probably some device or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had to fold it the first time at the bedding factory. So why aren't these sheet companies putting out videos on how to fold the sheet?
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah, whatever the like industrial machinery is that puts things in packaging, it would be kind of cool if we had something like that at home.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things where it's like it's packed so perfectly. Like I bought a tarp recently.
And you're never going to get that genie back in the bottle.
No, I will not. It's now in a big wad in the back of my car.
Yep.
When I got it, it was folded in this perfect, beautiful square in the package, and it just
now it's grassy and dirty, and
it's a giant wad that I can't.
Yep.
Get back folded.
It's like a blow up mattress.
Yes.
Have you ever tried to get a blow up mattress to go back into the bag or the box?
Right.
Forget it.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. It's just another thing where it's like, what? I know this can be done. They did it. So why can't I do this? Yeah, that's why.
We need to go back to Mr. Rogers
when
he would do those nice tours of the factories and you learned how these things were made.
Yeah, those were fun.
They were fun. All right. In the meantime, another way to have fun is to pick a topic from the DAMTT Wheel of Topics. So shall we do that?
Let's do it.
So exciting. I'm really looking to see it.
Real ad.
Okay. This requires a little bit of comedic, not writing, but thinking. There are so many ads out there, and when you're watching TV and you hear the ad about hey, take tryptophan, it may induce vomiting and lethargy, and you may not be able to fit in your pants and all this stuff. I think it would be so interesting if you were to do a real ad about something, what it would be said and what could benefit from that,
Yeah, the side effects always crack me up.
Like death, like, or
Right.
itching.
Yes,
Like,
they always rattle those off. May cause explosive diarrhea, may cause
Right.
death in rare cases. And then the always like the last one is, if you're allergic to Malakamopi, don't take Malakamopi. It's like, wait
Right.
a sec. How am I supposed to know if I'm allergic to Malakamopi
until I take it.
that causes the death and explosive diarrhea? Hopefully not simultaneously.
Right. The diarrhea is definitely impending doom.
How am I supposed to know if I'm allergic to this until I take it?
Exactly. So needless to say, I think it would be really funny to explore what would a product be or a service that would benefit or not from a real ad.
I like it.
So let's see what we come up with next week.
A real ad for a real doll.
Exactly. Perfect. Let's do it.
All right, everybody join us next time for another exciting edition of Don't Ask Me to Talk. Thanks for listening. We love you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
Talk.